You have it, don't you? You know what that does to you. You know how it can change you.
If that thing gets control over you, gutting is still an option. Got me?
This city is going to be ours. Just wait and see.
When this is said and done, who will the people remember as their savior?
Do you remember that iconic opening as a kid? How about this? That theme right there is what fuels my nostalgia. It's just amazing. There are so many mixed reviews on this childhood classic. I've loved watching all of them, hearing other people's opinions on my favorite Spider-Man game. At least, it was my favorite as a kid. This game will always give me the biggest nostalgia rush ever, but you know, it won't live up to the games we have now, the masterpieces we have today. Okay, enough of this. Let's start at the beginning. We start off with Spider-Man walking with his head down, his head full of voices, and a Spider-Man we think has lost. He jumps off the building to go find MJ, and just a quick reminder, MJ in this game is kind of like a badass.
I have to get to Wolverine. Just take care of MJ for me.
You know what? MJ can take care of herself just fine. I still have friends out there.
But you know, she's also pretty annoying sometimes.
Peter? Peter! What are you doing? What are you doing?
Alicia!
I knew it. I knew you loved me.
Get us out of here! Oh God, get us out of here!
I'll save that for later though. So basically, you go through a pretty mediocre tutorial. You stomp some symbiotes, you save a dude, and then you go back 4 days where you're being held by Venom.
Oh no, get away! Get away!
Come on!
Don't do it! Just come with me!
No! Mary Jane!
Peter?
It started just like this. 4 days ago. Fighting to breathe. To survive.
Harker.
Venom! That morning, everything changed.
I'm feeling hungry.
No! Eddie!
What?
Venom! Get ready for a world of pain!
It's actually a pretty fun boss battle, I'd say. Like, yeah, you have a quick chat with him, you steal some of his symbiotes, and then, you know, you chuck some cars at him. Okay, so after you fight him, you do get this awesome mechanic, which is like the selling point of this game. It might be my favorite in any Spider-Man game and most unique. So it is the ability by one click of a button to go from your regular friendly neighborhood Spider-Man to a strong, mean Spider-Man. And it leads you to some opportunities where you get to choose what Spider-Man you want to upgrade. So, you know, it leads you to a thought. Why not choose the black suit Spider-Man He's stronger. His abilities, upgrades, you know, they're more satisfying. Like look at this. Okay, so now this brings us to the point system. So there is a system where if you use the black suit or regular Spider-Man suit, you get either red or black points. Now the red points, if you have more, the civilians will cheer for you. And if you have more black points, the civilians will fear you and hate you. Okay, so now all of these red and black points will add up in the end, and whichever one has more will be your end choice in the game. Now, this brings us to the choice system, which, let me just say, is the coolest idea for a Spider-Man game. It basically lets you choose good or bad. So, the choices are good and bad, regular Spider-Man and black suit Spider-Man. Now, the choices in this game could have been awesome if it impacted the story at all. The same stuff happens no matter what choice you pick. The only thing that really happens is it really just adds up red and black points. Like you'll get a different cutscene, but it won't actually interfere with the story at all. All it'll do is change your ending at the end. You're one of 4 endings. So it kind of feels wasted, like a wasted opportunity, you know? Okay, so while we're here, I would also like to talk about the voice acting. So, I don't know. Spider-Man in this game gets so much shit for his voice acting, and it's a little weird to me. I don't know. It might be because he's my OG. He's my childhood Spider-Man. Other than, like, you know, the OGs. So, I'll say for this sake that Spider-Man's voice is annoying, depending on who you are. But god damn, do the other voice actors fucking rock.
Way to expand your mind, Spidey. Now don't forget that spider sense will always give you the advantage.
It has saved me countless times in the past.
Okay, yeah. You're not just irritating. You are Spider-Man.
Glad we could figure that out without gutting me.
If that thing gets control over you, gutting is still an option. Got me?
Every character in this game feels like their voice is ripped out of a comic book. It's perfect. Okay, for a quick second, I'm going to go back to Act 2. So, now, for the story, you go to a hospital where a gang fight appears in the matter of milliseconds, because why not? So, you and Luke Cage, you beat up the guys, you guys meet, and then you start training with them. But before you train with them, you do one of my least favorite parts in the entire game. It's not terrible, but it's just kind of boring, you know? So you basically fight some street gangs or whatever entity or enemy, you know, you have to fight. So it's not bad, but it's not as satisfying as Spider-Man PS4. What I will say, though, is it does let you test and figure out how to use one of the best features in this entire game, maybe even the best. Another detour from the story, but a well worth it one to talk about. The combat system in this game is so unique. I love it. So you have 3 choices of combat: ground, air, and wall combat. All of these combat differences are sick. But the wall combat is a bit glitchy sometimes. It can make you sick with the camera glitching out, which is a problem in this game, but I won't talk about it too much. Just the camera in this game, like most Spider-Man games that from the early ages, like, it kind of sucks, but okay, let's continue. So, okay, back to the other ones. So, you have all of these, so many different attacks you can choose from. It's a lot of goddamn attacks. And all of this, you also have different ones for the black suit. Now they're the same keybinds, but they're a little bit different. Like they do different things. So yeah, it's a lot of different options to choose from, and like yeah, you legitimately feel like a god when you remember it all because of how much there is to remember. Okay, so let's focus. Story. So you meet up with Luke Cage, where you go on a little training adventure where you use your spider sense. Okay, a quick talk about spider sense. Basically, the spider sense in this game is probably my least favorite part of the game. It's so glitchy, and in my childhood, I didn't really get it. I was kind of dumb, but it was my least favorite thing activating as a kid because I didn't know how to unactivate it, and it always it messed up my camera, and it like locked you onto a character that you weren't fighting, and it was always just so annoying. It still is today, but it's a little bit more manageable. But in the end, it still sucks. Okay. You go on this kind of unique, fun. It's not like really fun, but it's a decent mission where you protect this guy that Cage asks you to protect. After this, you on side missions that I was talking about earlier in order to proceed in the story, which is boring, but not the worst. It's good training. Speaking of, you meet up with Luke Cage for some reason to train. I don't know why he's training you for your powers. I mean, I guess it makes a little bit of sense because he does have prior knowledge in fighting. But okay. So you learn some cool mechanics, and you you see the funniest Spider-Man animation in any Spider-Man game. It's amazing. Watch this.
That was close. Try again a little bit later.
Okay. So now, you go on to train with Luke Cage. I'm gonna skip a lot of it. So a bit later, you go talk to MJ, and she's pissed off about the black suit, which is a very common occurrence in this game.
Peter, where have you been? I was worried. The doctor told me Spider-Man was asking about you, young lady.
Well, there was this drive-by shooting just as your ambulance pulled up, and then one thing led to another, and...
Same old story.
But what about your arm? How come you're leaving the hospital already?
Miracles of modern medicine. A few titanium pens, a few painkillers. I'm good as new.
I was so scared this morning. Venom was choking me and you weren't moving. Maybe that explains it.
Explains what? Explains you turning into that other thing? That other version of you?
You saw that?
Yes, I saw it. Tell me it's gone, Peter. Tell me you don't have that black suit again.
Well, it's complicated.
You have it, don't you? You know what that does to you. You know how it can change you.
You know, it actually worked for me. At first. Maybe this time it's different.
I don't believe you. Get rid of it, Peter. Get rid of it, and then I'll talk to you.
Come on, MJ. Venom is out there still. I have a feeling that something's changed. That something about the suit is different.
Yeah? Well, I have a feeling everything will be the same. Get rid of it. It's not who you are. Find me when you are yourself again.
All right. I have to go. I've got this whole saved all of Harlem by forcing a peace between two vicious gangs thing going on.
And now, for a satisfying mission, I honestly like this mission a little bit. It's fun. I don't think it's replayable, but it's fun at times. So, these two gang leaders show up with Cage to hash some stuff out, to stop the gang wars and all of that. And they go to this castle in the middle of the park for some reason, and 44 goddamn robot snipers come out of nowhere to get ready to shoot Cage and the two gang leaders, because why not? Like 44 goddamn snipers. Okay, so you go around web striking every sniper until you get to the end and you find the pictures of the two gang leaders, which shows that it was a setup. And then you're put with your first choice. So red suit, you just tell the guys, you show them the pictures, you tell them it was a setup, they become friends, and yeah, it's all finished. Black suit, you allow them to fight without showing them the pictures, and they all get put in prison, and no beef gets settled. But in the end, it doesn't change anything. The only difference is you can skip a fight with the red suit, and you get either points for the ending you want. Okay, so after this, you realize that the robot snipers were probably expensive to buy because obviously. So you go to the biggest crime boss, Wilson Fisk, where you go up there to go I don't know what you're gonna do, probably like beat him up or something. So you go up there to confront him, and then you see Black Cat running out of the building, and god damn, was Black Cat the golden age of my childhood when she came on screen, like, woo! Like, it was so unnecessary to add this attack in. When I was a kid playing this on my Xbox 360, doing this fight for probably like the second time I was completing the game or something, I knew she was gonna do that attack. And my mom walked in while I'm doing this fight, and I'm terrified. I'm trying to play the best I've ever played in Spider-Man before. Like, I'm like dodging and all that, because I did not want this animation to pop up. And then it triggers, and I'm just sitting there while I'm getting smooched on by Black Cat in the middle of me beating her ass. And I look up to my mom and I'm like, yeah, she does this sometimes. Okay. Okay, back to it. So you're chasing her, and you start fighting the guys, the goons that are helping her, and for no reason at all, Moon Knight just shows up.
Moon Knight? Hello!
Like, you're fighting on his building, but still, like, he just shows up out of nowhere. Even though you're like a known crime fighter, you're a hero, he gets mad at you and says that you're the bad guy and gets ready to beat you up. And then you're like, nah, I'm a good guy. And then he's like, okay, you're a good guy. So after this, you go up to fight Black Cat, basically the same thing. And yeah, you beat the living shit out of her. She gets sad and runs away, and you confront her for a QuickTime event. Okay, a quick talk about QuickTime events. These QuickTime event fails are so fucking hilarious. Like, and they're fun too, kind of. But like, look, just look at this. Yeah, they are so fun to do sometimes. Okay, back to the story. So, you dodge Black Cat and you fight her and you literally kick her as hard as you can off a building.
Gotcha.
Okay, so after this, you go up to her to talk, and she basically says that she wants you, and she wants to rule the world with you. And now, you have another choice. Red choice, you say you won't break up / cheat on MJ with her, and you won't rule the world with her, and then you swing away. Black, you, for some reason, your voice just becomes mad deep, you cheat on MJ, and then you stay with her and talk about taking down Fisk.
Do that. And you know it, Felicia.
Can't.
Right. I could use a little more fun in my life.
Either way, you take orders to take down Fisk by either Cat or Moon Knight. You go on some more side activities, which boring. And then you go on to probably one of my favorite missions in the entire game. Court Ordinance. So, I think it's really fun and interactive. Like, so you fight off some of Kingpin's guys from destroying the courthouse. You have to dispose of bombs that they are planting to destroy the courthouse and bring them to the cops where you put them in a bomb disposal unit. On top of this, you also have to fight these big dudes named mechs. So this is where the black suit and the red suit comes up, which this is probably one of my favorite features in the entire game. Okay, so in this fight, you have a choice to fight the mechs in any way you want. Now you can use the black suit and throw cards at to stun it. It makes the fight so easy and fast, but you will get plus 10 black points. Or you can continue being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man to get the good ending and punch him repeatedly until he does end up getting stunned. Now, in this, you will do a quick time event / button mash where you'll do it twice. Wait, you stun him twice and then you destroy it. Either way, it's actually a pretty fun mini boss. It's super cool. So after you whip them all, they all retreat and courthouse saved. Okay, so now you go on to another really fun mission, a childhood classic of mine, called Birds of a Feather. You go to Moon Knight to talk about this thing. You have to go investigate a secret base where Vulture is in there, and he tells you to leave. You say something, and then he immediately beats your ass. So you fight him only using air attacks, which is such a cool idea in a fight. Okay, so you have to stay up in the air or you fail by web striking his goons and himself. Basically, you web strike the entire time it's your main attack, but it's really cool. You go through 3 phases until a quick time event. After this, you have another choice. Red suit, you web him up and leave him for the cops. So the black suit, you tell him he owes you one and threaten to beat him up worse next time and also take his wings. And then he respects you or something. Either way, he gets put in your Allie System, which is something I would like to talk about. So, the Allie System works to let you spawn in superheroes or supervillains. The way this works is that you gain superheroes or supervillains throughout everyone you meet in every mission, and the only way to spawn in heroes is to have more red points, and vice versa, villains are black points. So it really doesn't matter much with different people, except for Rhino. Like they all have different moves, but Rhino, you ride him and just tank people. Okay, while we're here for no more detours, let's talk about web slinging real quick. So web slinging in this game is probably my second favorite feature in the game. Something I actually like more than Spider-Man PS4. It's so cool when you're swinging, you can let your feet touch the ground, you can swing and rub along the sides of buildings. It doesn't feel as stiff and as perfect as PS4. It feels like you control it. You can control your speed because you can continuously gain it, which is so cool. And at one point, if you're actually going really fast, you can trigger this rare splat animation along a building. As well as that, you can also go off of poles while swinging, which is, I really like that. It's actually really cool. Okay, back to Act 2 for the last couple missions. Okay, so you go to shut down Kingpin, where you actually go on top of a building and you start seeing civilians crawling up the building and start attacking you. So you don't really know what's going on. So you attack them, you fight them until the next cutscene where you're confronted by the cops while this civilian is literally trying to eat you. Spider-Man, with his brilliant mind, to prove his point, throws the civilian off the building, so then the ops start shooting you. So now you're being hunted by the cops and these strange creatures, and like a lot of Spider-Man games, you're now hated by everyone and not trusted. Okay, so this brings us to something, I know I say this a lot, but this is maybe my favorite mission in the entire game. It's so fun and unique. I don't know, man. Okay, so in this mission, Scarring Partners. In this mission, you see Wolverine. He's hunting symbiotes, basically, and he sees you and lunges at you because he smells the symbiote on you. Okay, so then you dodge him, and you get to do this such a cool mission. So it's kind of cool in the way that the mechs were cool in the other one. So basically, in this mission, you have to fight Wolverine. He is a very talented close-range fighter, obviously, and he's always a really good fighter in the comics and all that. So you have a choice. You can use the black suit and use your tentacle smash, all of those cool attacks, long-range attacks, that make this fight so easy, but you will end up gaining black points if you use it. But if you fight Wolverine with the red suit, which is more difficult, but it will give you red points for the ending. So you also get this other phase where the civilians are actually there, like the evil ones, and they're attacking you and Wolverine. So you, Wolverine, and the civilians are all fighting. They're all attacking you, and they're all attacking each other. So in this little section, if you do end up attacking Wolverine while he's fighting, you do get black points, which I thought was really cool. And also, another part I forgot to talk about, in this fight, while you're fighting him, other than like in the civilian part, he goes on top of a building to heal for a second, and while doing that, he does ask you trivia questions about Spider-Man, which is fun. Some of the questions, like this one, he does ask you weird stuff. How would you know who served us pie? Like, what? Okay, so it's still very cool. I love that part. It's so unique. There's no other Spider-Man game that does stuff like this. So in the end, you get your ending where you beat his ass and you guys become friends. So he's your ally for Red Spider-Man. There's no choice. So you go through this really boring side part, which I think it's still connected to the mission, but you know. So you go around, you track some fake civilians, and it's really boring. I'm gonna skip it. So at one point he tells you to track Venom. In this section, you track down Venom and you find him, you chase him for a mad long amount of time, which it's just so boring. And after that, you fight him. The Venom versus you fight is very similar to Wolverine versus you, but I find it very fun still because you also have the same dilemma of a choice, but without like the black and red choices, which it's I wish they would have added it. It would have made the fight better, because it is way easier to beat Venom with the black suit, obviously, because that suit is more powerful and makes you feel more powerful. That is the whole dilemma of the entire game. They could have added in the choices where if you did use the black suit, you get more black points, but basically you have a choice between which suit you want to use. It doesn't matter. So you're probably going to go with the black suit, get the fight done real quick. It's a fun fight. And then at the end, you just watch Venom crawl away, and then he turns back for a second and growls. I don't know why he turns back and yelps. It's just so funny. I also have no clue why Spider-Man just let him run away, considering he's injured. Now we're on another unique mission. A very fun mission, and it's also kind of sad and confusing. It's actually a good mission for the story. It makes you kind of feel empathy towards Elektra, which is what it was trying to do. It's a little bit lazy, the way they tried to do it. The way they did it, but it's not terrible. So you go to this quarantine facility where you almost get arrested by Black Widow, because why not? And then you go into this chase with Electro, where he's freaking out and worried because he wants to help her. You don't know who she is yet. You follow him when he runs away, scared, confused, and just not thinking straight. He won't tell you what's wrong, and you want to figure it out. You want to help him. So you run after him. It's pretty fun. You fight him and dodge him in close quarters. You have to dodge his lightning beams. It's a very tight close quarter combat, and it's pretty sick. So then after doing this, you have another quick time event. Okay, after doing that, Black Widow legitimately just shoots him with a gun and ends up killing him. I'm pretty sure she kills him. Then you figure out that he was there for his sister because his sister was in the facility and, you know, he didn't mean anyone harm. But then she jumps on top of him, and she was indeed infected, where she jumps onto him and gives him her symbiote, which makes him into this rampaging monster. So he ends up blowing up, probably because of the symbiote overloading him, killing his sister, which was probably the last person he had in his life, considering how badly he freaked out when he didn't have her. we find out that Shield thinks that all of this stuff is a disease, and they close down the bridges, so no one gets out. You see Wilson Fisk there, demanding to leave the city, and while he's kind of freaking out, he's not like showing it, but he's clearly scared. He has an idea. He puts in Spider-Man's head that Reed Richards and Stark should be here, but if they're not there to help, which I think he knows, he says that the only one that can help us is a mad scientist in Rikers, but they can't help right now. So Spider-Man swings away and calls Reed Richards, Stark, a lot of people.
You've reached the headquarters of the Fantastic Four.
Reed Richards, please.
For analytic data systems, press 1. For the arms reduction project,
What about 4?
press 2.
As in fantastic?
For Mr. Fantastic, press 1.
Yes!
This is the office of Dr. Richards. He is away on urgent business in another star system. Please leave a message. Mailbox full.
Ah, fine. I'll try Stark.
You have reached Stark Tower.
0. Operator.
Due to a public health emergency, Stark Industries is closed.
Who am I kidding? If he could be here, he would be. Maybe Hank McCoy.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. All circuits are busy.
Henry Pym?
And then Spider-Man lets Fisk get in his head, and he realizes he has to break out the Tinkerer.
Forget it. MJ, it's me. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm helping
Good,
Luke run a
that's
sort of
good.
shelter.
Hey, listen, I have a crazy idea that might save us. I'm going to Rikers prison to get a mad scientist to make a bomb to destroy the Sin Things without hurting any of the people. I know the Tinkerer's in there.
Uh-huh.
Of course, I'm gonna have to break him out of prison because S.H.I.E.L.D. and the police are after me, but
Uh-huh.
Mary Jane? I'll be breaking the law.
Okay. Look. You have to do what
Okay.
you think is right.
Thanks. Gotta go.
So yeah, basically, Fisk just got Spider-Man to do all of his dirty work while he sits back and waits for all of this to be over.
Where are all the good guys? Where's Richards? Stark? Some so-called genius that will get rid of these things. Too bad all the mad scientists are in lockdown at Rikers.
Now, Moon Knight and Vulture were both listening into Spider-Man's calls and track him down with record timing. Now, Moon Knight basically tells them, hey, don't do this, it's breaking the law. And Vulture tells them, hey, do this, you're doing the right thing. And Spider-Man's like, hey, I'm going to this island, I need a ride over there. And for some reason, this is probably the dumbest choice in the entire game. It doesn't make any sense. You get to choose good or bad. So the red suit, you choose to fly over with Moon Knight, he flies you over. The black suit, you fly over with Vulture, he flies you over. Basically, you just get black points or red points. The choice doesn't matter at all. It's so dumb. So now, for a very fun mission, Prison Break. Okay, so this mission is basically where Spider-Man commits his first crime. It's a pretty cool idea. So, you need to find a way to get to Thinker. So Spider-Man in his head is like, hey, I need to get through these walls and these doors. I need like a battering ram maybe. Oh, how about I release Rhino and use him? So you start riding Rhino, cause why not? And it's pretty fun. You just become a straight menace with him, running through walls, running through people. At one point you have to dodge these mines that they place. In the end, you have a choice. You pick the red choice where you use some kind of big words to trick Rhino back into his cell.
Get to the front gate right away!
What for?
To escape, silly! See, when you broke through the wall, you must have triggered an automatic security override protocol that disabled the lift. But see, I broke the front gate when I came in here. So if you go as fast as you can back the way we came, you'll be home free.
You did something right. For a change. Full speed ahead!
There he goes. Now to get to the Tinkerer.
So, black suit, basically what you do is you let him in and out of the prison. Either way, he becomes a ally to the black suit. So now you go and help Tinker get out, and you meet up with all 5 groups of people.
Halt!
You've committed about 65 felonies, Spider-Man.
I'll be taking the Tinkerer.
Step back, Vulture. Well done, Spider-Man.
Hi everybody.
This was his idea.
Vulture, Mr. Fisk, hell, everyone. You are being taken into custody for aiding and
Ms.
abetting.
Romanoff, surely this crisis calls for extraordinary measures.
I'm trying to save the city.
We are all trying to save this city.
I have the situation under control.
Electro is under control.
Ms. Romanoff, you can follow the book and be the scapegoat. Or you can truly take control.
I am not talking to you, Fisk.
Are your superiors giving you the means to succeed? Or ensuring your failure?
Take Spider-Man and the Tinkerer to the command station at Stark Tower. Let's move! Clear this area!
Well done, Commander.
Get out of here, Fisk.
Okay, so now after you team up with all of them, they really close the bridges.
Chance to come up with a way to stop the symbiotes. Little did we know that her superiors did not share the same sense of optimism.
It would seem the cavalry has arrived.
What are they doing?
What idiots in authority always do.
This is nuts.
Perhaps sealing the city might stop it from spreading.
It's up to us now.
Here starts the official apocalypse. No people, only monsters. The city is dark and gloomy. It's pretty lonely and depressing, honestly. But let's go on. After this, you do a bunch of filler missions. It's really boring, but you do this fun mission, kind of. It's not really that fun. It's fun for the first little bit, but yeah, it gets boring really fast. So you go over and you destroy these generators so you can go up to Wilson Fisk and get some possessions for the Tinkerer. After this, you go up there to talk to him and ask him to help you.
Kingpin, I cannot believe I'm saying these words. And I cannot believe I'm doing it without a fat joke. But, look, I need your help.
Help? To clean up this mess you made?
Mess? Mess? What? No, we need to move Tinkerer to your building. And why would you blame what's happening on me?
I see the family resemblance, don't you? I will make you a deal, Spider-Man. Help me out with a few errands, and I will consider helping you.
You want me to do your grocery shopping? I have super strength, but I'm not.
I want you to be my pawn. I want you to know that you saved Manhattan, but only by doing my bidding. Even if all I do is have you pick up a bit of litter, I know that it will gnaw at you for the rest of your days, that you had to help me save this city.
Okay, fine. What do you need?
Restore the defenses on my building. Things here were very secure until just a few minutes ago.
All right, fine. Then we're even.
Now he's on board to help you, and you have to help him with errands and also to fix his building, which is very boring. I'm going to skip that. After that, all of the heroes and villains, except for Moon Knight for some reason, I don't know why he's not here, they all go over Tinkerer's plans and what he wants, which, dude, this guy, he knows what he wants.
Here is my plan. Here is my plan. The symbiotes are vulnerable to sound. This device will generate a self-perpetuating sonic wave of 59,000 hertz by converting the light from a plasma detonation into a thermal wave.
Ha! You have to amplify that signal as the wave is generated.
That's why it is designed to employ the metal superstructure of a skyscraper, like a tuning fork.
Fine, we're using Stark Tower.
The harmonics will only work on the right kind of alloy. American steel, forged before 1940. Only one building has the right makeup. The Trask building.
Will it kill all the symbiotes without killing their hosts?
Yes. Now, to complete this project, I require the following. Full access to the facilities here at Fisk Industries, $25 million in cash, a full pardon, and this castle in Italy with this woman from my favorite tool calendar waiting by the pool.
My laboratories are at your disposal, and if you allow me a moment to place a few calls, the castle and girl are yours. But I'm afraid the pardon, and of course the money, are up to my esteemed colleague from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Fine! Now, we just have to keep this city from self-destructing.
After all of that, you fly over on these little helicarriers to this building where you and Black Cat fight some Electro symbiotes. It's a pretty boring mission. You do get to see the new enemies, which are cool and an interesting new way to fight. You have to fight them in a different way. And you become acquaintances with Black Cat again. She tells you some stuff to do. Okay, so now onto a pretty fun mission. It's not my favorite mission. It's kind of boring the way you fight Electro, but I really like the aesthetic of it. It looks beautiful. So you have these big structures over Electro, and you fight him. You fight these pods that are spewing out these little enemies, the goons, the symbiote Electros, things, you know. You fight them, you beat them, easy game, easy life. And then after that, basically you just fight Electro a bunch. Okay, so now after fighting Electro, you have a choice. Basically, Red Suit is you motivate him to get the suit off, you tell him he's got it, and then you help him up. The Black Suit, you beat the living shit out of him, call him names, call him a loser, and then let him stand up by himself. In the end, he will be an ally to the Black Suit either way. Okay, so I'm going to skip a lot of stuff. Basically, now you are fighting Vulture symbiotes. After skipping a little bit more, you do some Moon Knight side missions, boring, whatever. Then you go on a decent mission. It's pretty fun. It's not the best though. Basically what you do is there are symbiotes trying to break into the quarantine facility, which is fun. It's an interesting idea. It's kind of stressful at times. You basically make sure that they don't break into Stark Towers, which is the main quarantine facility. So you do some normal combat, you beat them up, you just try and make sure that they don't break into the place, they don't destroy the building, and then this happens. Because why not? So then you go and meet up with Cage and MJ talking about evacuating the city.
Cage, this is pointless. Too many symbiotes.
I'm doing all I can. We can't just walk down to S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters.
Oh no? Widow, we're gonna evacuate everyone out of Harlem.
You expect these people to fight their way to the other side of Manhattan?
What?
So how do you use this?
Yes, if we have to.
I think I got it.
This is suicide.
Got it. Everyone is getting out. S.H.I.E.L.D. has a beacon to repel the symbiotes. We'll open a safe corridor. I have to get to Wolverine. Just take care of MJ for me.
You know what? MJ can take care of herself just fine. I still have friends out there. Luke and I are gonna go get them, and then we're gonna get out of here. Aren't we, Luke?
Okay.
Wow. Just be careful, okay?
And now, an awesome mission you get to play here. Some people's favorite mission. Not my favorite, just for the fact that it's kind of a copy and paste of the last one, but I actually find it really unique and interesting. It's still very interesting. So basically, in this mission, you are with Wolverine, seeing that there's people trapped in the church. Basically, you're waiting for S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarriers to get there. So now, in this, there's actually something really cool you can do. So while they're breaking in, to help you from getting overwhelmed from the multiple symbiotes, you can actually shoot the bell of the church, which stuns them and gives you time to like beat them up. while they're trying to break into the church and kill everyone and turn them all into symbiotes, not kill them. So it's pretty fun. You beat them up, a lot of stuff, all the symbiotes, you beat them up, and at the end, you put them all on the helicarrier, all the people, and you start getting away. But then you get overwhelmed by the big symbiotes because they are shooting webs and holding back the helicarrier. Now, even though the bell is right there, this is kind of a dumb part of the mission. The bell is behind them. They can just shoot it once. Wolverine jumps and to save everyone, but then gets overwhelmed until this happens.
Biggest guy in the bar.
Now, you fight him in this sick Wolverine fight, where it's basically the Wolverine fight from before mixed with the Venom fight, and it makes it really difficult. It's actually a pretty fun fight. You fight him, and he puts on these spikes around him at one point for one of his phases, which is an armor you have to get through before you can do more damage to him. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. You can still use the bell as well, so then you get another quick time event. Dude, these quick time events will never get old. They're so funny. So then, after a little bit, you beat him up, and you have another choice. Basically, with the red suit, you allow Wolverine to grab out his claws and cut the symbiote out of his body. But there's no gore because this is a Spider-Man game. They didn't want to give it a gore rating. So yeah. And then in the black suit, you pick him up over your head and rip him in half for no reason, for this silly scene where Wolverine, they're like, how can we show that Spider-Man just ripped him in half? Oh, how about just toss some wiggly legs above his head to show that he's cut in half? It's just funny. So either way, it doesn't change the end. It only changes the ending with the black points or red points, and he's an ally to Red Spider-Man. Now, you return to Harlem to talk to Cage and MJ about protecting people, and you promise MJ no more black suit. Now, I'm going to skip this mission because it sucks, and it just, yeah. Now, you go to meet MJ and Cage, and they are missing like the beginning. Now, you go up to Fisk Towers, and you meet up with Fisk, and there's just a glitch. I don't know why this cutscene's glitched out. It's glitched out in every game. There's just two Fisk models for no reason in the background, which is kind of weird, and they just never fixed it. So, yeah.
And that brings us up to date. I searched for MJ. Found her. Then lost her again. And worse of all, breaking another promise. I had to use that thing one more time.
Now we're at the beginning, where Spider-Man's on the roof. Sad, confused for what to do, angry, worried for his friends, worried for his city. Now we know who took him. It was Black Cat. We follow her and fight her. It's a fun fight. It's very repetitive though of the last fight. She just has a symbiote this time, and the goons, instead of it being the Fisk guards, it's the symbiotes. Okay, so now MJ is here for no reason. This is a feature that is in a lot of Spider-Man games, and I don't like it. MJ is here for no reason, completely in danger. She's someone we now need to protect. And they do this so often in Spider-Man games. It's just boring. So you beat Black Cat, and you have another quick time event. In this quick time event, you chuck her off of another building because Spider-Man just loves to do that. So you have a choice. Red, you can put Cat with MJ and she saves her. Black, which I think is the better choice because it just saves her. But you put her in a cocoon, and the black suit goes around her and saves her life. You bring her back to life, and NJ just gets pissed off and jealous for no reason, and also this choice makes you like be with Black Cat. You start dating her for no reason. Like, I get why she's mad if she's seen them being so touchy, but she just like Spider-Man's just like, I'm gonna save her real quick, and she's like, oh my god, no, get us out of here, get us out now. So now we go to Fisk Towers where there's a device being set up, but of course it's the device. It's the device that'll save everything, but of course the symbiote Vulture is there to stop us.
Yes, your money has been wired. The device is in place. Now begin the detonation sequence.
What are we waiting for? Set this off!
Status report. Are we at go?
Damn you, Tombs.
Oh no. Lieutenant Miller, come in!
You will do. I'm sure all of you can see and hear me. I've easily defeated your pathetic forces and have cut the data link to the Tinkerer's little toy.
Tombs? What do you want?
We are so much more than Adrian Toombs, and we have but one demand: Spider-Man. And he knows why. He carries part of us with him. In fact, he is the reason we are here at all. This one's no longer useful. Good day.
I'm calling in an airstrike.
We need that building intact.
Hey, he's right. This is about me. It started with me, and now I'm gonna end it.
So it's another copy and paste fight with the symbiote being the same version of the last fight we did with Vulture, and also the goons aren't the Fisk goons again. They are Vulture goons, because why not? So yeah, it's a fun fight because it's just the same fight, but it's not my favorite. So you have another choice. Now this is the choice that you can't choose. So depending on all of your choices throughout the game, red points add up, black points added up, all of that, you have these choices. The red suit. You will destroy the symbiote and your own symbiote and everyone else's during the city. This will also have Moon Knight, Wolverine, and Luke Cage help you in the final battle. The black suit, you push over the device and go up to the helicarrier with the help of Black Cat, Electro, and Vulture. So throughout this entire brawl, you destroy some jamming devices, you beat up some guys, you plant bombs. It's very cool. It's actually a really fun final battle until the final boss battle, which is just, it looks amazing.
Ted, I'll pick you up. Oh no!
Oh boy. You are in way over your multiple heads. You and this ship are going down. What about the innocent, Eddie. This is against everything you believe. Over my dead body.
Can we just take in how Spider-Man is standing up to this towering monster with pride and strength, fearlessness? So now we're fighting Venom. Venom, who is, by the way, completely incomprehensible because they just decided to deepen his voice, lower the, like, anything you've ever heard of. Okay, so yeah, basically this boss fight, which is, it's cool, the look, but the way you fight it is so boring. The only thing you do is you web strike his head a bunch, and you go through these phases where goons come in like every other fight. It's pretty boring, but then you have a quick time event. You see that Eddie, this entire time, has gotten taken over by Venom. He is not himself anymore. He didn't want all of this. He didn't want to take over the city, take over the world. He didn't want this. And you are now left with your final choice. Red. Eddie throws you off a building, saving you from being killed by the helicarrier and killing himself crawling into the turbine, along with the symbiote. This is a good ending, a great ending for Venom. I love it. It shows that he really didn't want all of this. But the black ending, the ending where you're evil, you grab Eddie and tie him up with a web that he can't get out of, and you throw him into the turbine, killing him and the symbiote. It's a bittersweet ending, and you have 4 main endings. Ending 1. The evil ending. You and Black Cat take over the city with all the symbiotes under your control. Ending 2. Another evil ending. You, by yourself, rule over this city with the symbiotes as yours to control. Also, Black Widow, Fisk, and Tinkerer are there to set up the device. Also, they have Wolverine to bring them Spider-Man, dead or alive. Now we have the third ending. The good ending. MJ catches you narrating. You're looking over the city you saved. It's perfect, and you guys swing on into the sunset. Ending 4. Good. Peter calls MJ back to get her back, you know? He's sad and he's alone. He's not looking over the city happy. He's sitting there in sorrow. And then it cuts to black. In the end, this game was great at points, but repetitive. This game will always be a replayable classic because of the different endings and unique boss fights. I loved the unique tale of this Spider-Man. The story was jumbled up, but the mechanics, all of the things they did, all the unique things they did, it really made this game amazing and made this game my favorite memory.